thank you everybody for coming this morning. Isn't this the coolest video? We know you guys have done some amazing things, but to see it in a summary form like that, so thank you guys for submitting those videos. And if I was a person that wore glasses, I would wear phrase glasses, so cool. All right, welcome everybody. We are here to celebrate our Serve Houston ambassadors who, after 6 months of working hard, learning, volunteering, and being a great help to Interfaith Ministries, are now graduating and will take what they have learned and practiced as part of Serve Houston to continue making a difference in our community throughout their lives. I would like to ask the ambassadors in the room to stand, please. Today, we celebrate all of you. Angel, Balkisu, Benita.
Hi, this is Jeremy.
Here, but she's in our
And I'm Veronica.
Dana, Freisha, Jeremy, Michelle.
Hi, this is Jeremy.
Also not here,
and
but
I'm
still in our
Veronica.
thoughts. Rashida,
And we were assigned to the
Roba,
Alexa Project,
Sebastian,
a study aiming
Chandra,
to measure the social
Sydney,
determinants of health through the use of Alexa
Veronica,
devices
and
as an
Leela.
extension of the
You
Meals
are
on Wheels
a special
program.
group of young
The official
leaders,
name for
and
the
we are
Alexa
so proud
Project
of
is
each of
Connecting
you.
Seniors to Care,
On
as the
behalf
goal of the
Interfaith
study is to
Ministries for
improve the
Greater
quality of
Houston,
life for these
Volunteer
senior
Houston,
citizens
your
through the
project
incorporation of these smart
supervisors,
devices.
Your mentors, our clients, and
So
all
for
of
the
us
Alexa
here,
Project, we had
celebrate
3 main
you,
goals.
we thank you,
First,
and we salute you. And we're sure today will be just one of many proud moments for you in your lives. So remember this moment. You should be proud of yourselves and all that you have accomplished as part of this pilot program. Our next cohort will benefit from your ideas, I lost my thought, suggestions and actions. We have learned so much from you. We have benefited from your work, your wisdom, and support, and know that all who participate in Serve Houston in the future will be shaped by the legacy that all of you helped to build. So we love you, we appreciate you, and we say bravo. You guys can sit down now, thank you. I also want to give one last shout out to the project supervisors, without whom, yeah, right? The team projects that our ambassadors worked on would not have been identified. They just wouldn't be something that everyone was working towards and that brought everybody together. So, to Matthew Wright, Leslie Kean, Lauren Lewis, and Alexis Haynes of Meals on Wheels. Woohoo! Yay! To Sakri Woodley in marketing and her team. Yes. To Elena Corbett, Ahmed Mushraf, Camille Khan, and Rebecca Smith in Refugee Services. And to Gayla Wilson, Aaron Riola, and Ayet Ashari, one of these days I'll say her name right, in Volunteer Houston. Yes. Thank you all for your guidance, for your flexibility, and for your leadership. So before I hand the stage over to the sensational Jay Harburg, I'd like to give a special shout out to Chris Bugby, President and CEO of the One Star Foundation, and to Paul Holohan, Chief Development Officer of the global service organization Points of Light, of which Volunteer Houston is an affiliate, for their guidance and support of our mission, of our people, and of our crazy but innovative program ideas. I really am proud to work for and to be associated with organizations that support ambitious creatives like all of us in the room. So now I'd like to ask Jay to say a few words, introduce our keynote speaker today. Jay is the chair of the board for Interfaith Ministries, and he has been a fan of Serve Houston since the beginning and helped launch the idea that is now a reality. Thank you, Jay.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. This is really a special day. My only disappointment with the program, and I hate to have to share this with you, is that I have asked on numerous occasions for one of the cool shirts, and I have never gotten a shirt. So I imagine when it's over and there's a leftover somewhere in a box, I may get it. Now, I only have 3 minutes to introduce our guest speaker, and her bio is going to take about 10 minutes of that. And so I'm going to just launch in and tell you a little bit about why I'm so delighted that we could all be here to gather in person and on live stream to congratulate our amazing cohort of ambassadors. You all have truly exceeded our expectations, and we are really grateful for your efforts. All of you took a chance to participate with us in this pilot program. You dared to be part of an effort that we all said was like building a plane while flying it at the same time. May you always dare to do great things with your lives. Martin, speaking of daring things, sorry, to do things, speaking of daring to do great things, let me introduce my friend, Councilmember Abby Kamen. When I first met Abby, she was not much older than y'all, frankly, and not that she's old now. I'm not saying, I don't mean that. But Martin, Jody, and I have watched Councilmember Kamen through the years volunteer, grow, shine, and now help to lead our great city through good times and challenges. Born and raised in Houston, she attended my alma mater, Tulane University. I know you'll be surprised to learn that we did not have any classes together. Following her time at Tulane, and I'm going to just say one more quick aside. I don't know if you saw, but one of the ranking services just named Tulane University the #1 party school in the country. We're very proud of that, and you know, we like to say we set the base for that, so for them to build on. Following Tulane, she went to American University's Washington College of Law, where she focused on government administration and civil rights. And prior to being elected to our city council in 2019, Councilmember Kamen advocated for our community at every level of government as the Associate Regional Director of the Anti-Defamation League's Southwest Regional Office, where she and I first met. Abby also oversaw the region's civil rights programming, community partnerships, and incidents of hate reported by constituents. As the committee director and clerk of the Texas House Human Services Committee, she fought for solutions to Texas's foster care crisis, among other issues. Councilmember Kamen also served as a member of the Mayor's Commission Against Gun Violence, drafting proposals that focused on what the city can do immediately to ensure our community and safety in our schools. As council member of District C, she continues to make a difference in our community, and I will share with you that we would probably still be waiting on our building permits for the Volunteer Resource Center without her involvement. Thank you for that. She also has the distinction, I believe, of being the only council member ever to have a baby while serving on the city council. It wasn't during a council. It was, but and as a result of that, she has a beautiful new baby that's 8 months old. And so while she is going to take her mask off, I'd like to ask that each of you make sure you keep your masks on so that she can safely go home afterwards. Abby, if you'll share a few words with us. I took part of your time, by the way, so.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
Thank you, Jay. And Jay, thank you for the kind words and your leadership at Interfaith Ministries and around the city. It's really exciting to be here today to celebrate you all. So this is not about me today. This is about you, what you've accomplished, and what you're going to continue to do from here on out. And you all are incredible leaders. And I want to carry the message that we are all here to support you as you continue your work to support others. The Ambassador Program and Serve Houston program is very unique and very special. And you have now set the tone for years to come as the inaugural class of this program. Your work embodies the true spirit of our city. We've seen that through, as Jay alluded to, the hard times, and y'all have managed to do this program through a pandemic, which is no small feat. I also wanted to point out that you're carrying the torch for a legacy of interfaith assistance, helping one another throughout the generations here in Houston and in our country. And I'm reminded of the relationship of Rabbi Heschel and the Reverend Dr. King. And that propelled others to get involved in the civil rights movement and the diversity and beauty of those partnerships that came for that. And it was actually the Civil Rights Act and Voting Rights Act that were drafted in the conference room of one of the Reformed Jewish organizations. And you really see those relationships play out. And in the city of Houston, we have a beautiful legacy. And I will say Jody and Martin were instrumental in that through their work in interfaith partnerships, both here and at the ADL and other places, but also their work with the Three Amigos. Who's familiar with the Three Amigos? Well, for those of you that aren't familiar, it's three brothers. It's the incredible Reverend Lawson, Archbishop Fiorenza, and the late but always great Rabbi Karff. And they came together to really lead the community in so many ways, showing what interfaith partnerships can do. And it was them, they are instrumental in actually creating the Office of the Harris County Public Defenders. There would never have been a public defender's office to represent those that can't afford representation without their work. And now there's obviously more recent examples. We have the Ismaili community building the first center in the United States right here in Houston, and it's not just for the Ismaili community, it's also for children and neighborhoods all around the city to come, and they open their doors to that. And then, of course, while these are just a few examples of the legacy and brotherhood and sisterhood that continues today, y'all are that next generation. And again, this is where you come in, and this is the role that you play. So from service projects aimed to provide resources for our refugees that we are welcoming, building youth mentorship programs, addressing food insecurity, and so much more, you are building a better, more inclusive, and service-driven city. And I thank you for that. It's one thing to be an elected official and to do the work that we do, but we can't do it without you. You really do everything to make our city as great as it is. So first, I want to give you all a round of applause for that. And I also want to make sure you all know, really quickly, look to your right, whoever's next to you. Look to your left. This is your family, and you all will be here for each other as you continue to grow, as you move on, whether you're graduating college, starting new careers, deepening volunteer connections. Please continue your passion not only to help others, but to help each other. It's a beautiful relationship. And then beyond each other, you have your family at Interfaith Ministries and Volunteer Houston. And beyond that, you have all of us. And I want you to know that we're here for you as well. So call on us as council members, call on your elected officials, call on people at the city, call on your neighbors, whoever it is, there are people in your corner that will fight with you for the work that you're doing because it's so important. So again, congratulations. I know we have a lot more of a program, so I'm gonna step down, but again, thank you for all the work that you're doing. It's truly extraordinary.
Thank you, City Councilmember Kamen, for those inspiring reflections and sentiments. You are a role model for our ambassadors. Who knows, after today, they may even be inspired to become a city council member and follow in your footsteps. Our cohort of Serve Houston ambassadors have accomplished such a great service during their time with us. our 3 teams of ambassadors have mastered the art of pivoting. All of the teams were asked to either switch departments, rearrange priorities, and even adjust their team project goals at some point, and not to mention additional changes due to the COVID-19 pandemic and the refugee humanitarian crisis. So first, let's hear about the impact the Meals on Wheels team made, led by lead ambassador Vila Matovu. Each of the teams tonight have prepared a video summarizing the impact they've made within the IM and the community. So let's take a look.
And I'm Veronica.
And we were assigned to the Alexa project, a study aiming to measure the social determinants of health through the use of Alexa devices as an extension of the Meals on Wheels program.
The official name for the Alexa project is Connecting Seniors to Care, as the goal of the study is to improve the quality of life for these senior citizens through the incorporation of these smart devices. So for the Alexa project, we had 3 main goals. First was the configuration of 110 Alexa devices. The study was divided into 2 cohorts consisting of 55 devices and clients per cohort. The first cohort assembly of Alexa devices were for basic Alexa functions. The second cohort was programmed for Alexa for hospitality. The second goal was for the installation of the devices into the clients' homes, where we initially assisted our supervisor and eventually did independent installations for cohort 2. The third goal was for the recruitment and outreach for cohort 2.
I also did outreach for Strength on Wheels, a pilot medical study that will be expanded in the near future to include more clients.
So our first goal was accomplished. We were able to configure all 110 Alexa devices for both cohorts within the time allotted by the Serve Houston program. Our second goal was partially accomplished. We had 40 successful client installations for cohort 1, and due to primarily not having any control over client recruiting for that cohort, we were unable to reach our goal of 55 installations. For cohort 2, we've had 28 successful client installations for the Alexa for hospitality, and we did not reach our goal of 55 due to an issue with the initial recruitment process for that cohort.
Our third goal was also partially accomplished. We recruited 28 out of 55 clients for cohort 2. We transitioned from doing cold calls to having our drivers deliver a flyer about the Alexa project directly to existing clients. This drastically improved the pace of recruitment and installations. In terms of Strength on Wheels, we recruited 7 out of the 10 clients that are needed for the pilot study. 4 have completed their evaluations, so we need 3 additional clients to have all 10 for the pilot study, Strength on Wheels.
And as far as the impact, we had 68 Meals on Wheels clients out of 110 added to the Alexa study who have received Alexa devices with ongoing installations currently scheduled. We have had over a dozen end of studies, and every client has mentioned that they liked having an Alexa. Each client said the device made them feel less isolated, and the clients intend to keep using the device moving forward. So the anecdotal evidence is very positive so far.
In terms of deliverables, we made an installation guide for cohort 2, a call script for outreach purposes, a client contract, a virtual assistance device guide, and I compiled a list of zip codes for outreach purposes.
Hello, my name is Chantra Wilson, and Michelle Phillips and I work on the Anna Mills project. Our 3 goals for our project. Our first goal was to assist the Anna Mills program coordinator in maintaining client records. Our second goal was to record all pet services in the Anna Mills client database. And our final goal was to provide meaningful social interaction to our Miles seniors through a compassionate call center and ACL project. Our first goal was accomplished because we kept client records up to date through Serve Tracker and through client calls and new client enrollments over the phone, along with creation of the Google Maps. Our first goal was accomplished by adding client records into Serve Tracker and through the creation of spreadsheets. Anna Mills client call log was for us to record the client voicemails as well as calls we made daily. Anna Hill's annual veterinary appointment status was for us to keep a log of all of the clients who we sent out for vet appointments, and the Animals and Galveston Animals route sheet. The creation of the Google Maps along with these route sheets allowed the team to visually see the client's addresses and move the routes around to make the delivery of pet food easier for the volunteers. Our third goal was partially accomplished through our everyday compassionate calls to our animals clients. However, the Compassionate Call Center and the ACO project were not established due to COVID and due to time constraints. This project was positively impacted because we were able to establish timely enrollment, get food out to our clients who hadn't received pet food in a while, and got the program up to date through deliveries and route sheets, bringing them to more current time status. IM's operations were made more efficient through more hands being on deck to answer calls, the organization of the program through additional resources and human capital, and the training of volunteers. We were able to enroll many clients into the Animals program with effectively explaining the clients the rules and the expectations of the program.
Our third project was the Community Outreach Project, which Vijaytha, Jeremy, and I were engaged in. Our project had 3 primary goals. The first was to identify and meet with 6 to 8 community organizations in the areas that Meals on Wheels serves.
Our second goal was to create a presentation and marketing materials in order to educate the community organizations, potential clients, and their families about Meals on Wheels and what we can offer.
Our third goal was securing clients and encouraging volunteers, as well as helping Meals on Wheels staff with client intake and process flow.
Our first goal was partially accomplished. Using the 70 Meals on Wheels zip codes provided to us, we identified 6 categories of community organizations within each zip code. Our ultimate hope was to secure clients in zip codes with fewer active clients and encourage volunteerism in zip codes with many active clients. Our final contact list included community organizations from each category as listed on this slide. We spent about the last 3 weeks of Surf Houston doing outreach and ended up meeting with 2 community organizations, which was fewer than intended. This was due to 3 main reasons. The first is a learning curve towards the beginning of the program, in which we spent a good amount of time learning about the mission and operations of Meals on Wheels and solidifying an outreach and marketing strategy. This required us to work with people from different departments in Meals on Wheels and Volunteer Houston, IRCP, and marketing. The second reason is a new COVID protocol, which created uncertainty about the feasibility of securing new clients when there was a possibility of losing Meals on Wheels drivers. And the third reason is a timely approval process. We needed approval for our list of community organizations, marketing materials, and the presentation we created. As a result, there was a lot of back and forth or waiting, which pushed our timeline. Regardless of this, the organizations we met with were receptive and enthusiastic about forming a partnership with Meals on Wheels.
Our second goal, which was to create a presentation and marketing materials in order to help Meals on Wheels reach a wider audience and gain more clients and volunteers, was accomplished. In our presentation, we discussed the 4 pillars of Interfaith Ministries and the work currently being done within each department. We expressed our mission, which was to spread the word of Meals on Wheels and encourage volunteerism. We also explored the influence of volunteerism on Meals on Wheels clients based on a 2021 client survey. And finally, we provided resources for the community organizations to share with others. This includes our marketing materials, which were our 3 recruitment flyers, and links to virtual volunteer trainings. As Vila mentioned before, we met with 2 community organizations. Both organizations expressed that they did not know much about the Anna Meals program and that it would be desirable to place seniors in their communities.
We began contacting community organizations on October 19th. This gave us about 3 weeks to schedule meetings and make our presentations, as well as share our marketing materials with the organizations so they could make it available to their communities. As a result, we didn't have time to see the effects of our outreach efforts. Regardless, as Vila mentioned, the organizations we did meet with were very receptive about spreading the word of Meals on Wheels. We delivered 250 flyers to Pleasant Hill Baptist Church for them to distribute, and this information was also sent out in their email blast. Coalition of Community Organizations has also promised to send the info we provided to their database. They have 4,000 contacts. The next steps for our outreach efforts would be maintaining the relationships we have cultivated with Coalition of Community Organizations and Pleasant Hill Baptist Church. We are very hopeful that these partnerships will be impactful in expanding our client and volunteer base.
As far as our project impact, we were able to contact 25 community organizations to spread the word of Meals on Wheels, secure clients, and increase Meals on Wheels volunteerism. We created 3 recruitment flyers to encourage volunteerism specifically within Meals on Wheels and Anna Meals. And we distributed 250 client and volunteer recruitment flyers to Pleasant Hill Baptist Church, which will be provided to the 3 housing centers in the church on site. The list of deliverables that we created include a strategic marketing plan, a client recruitment flyer, Meals on Wheels and Anna Meals volunteer recruitment flyers, a presentation, and a master list of the community organizations within the Meals on Wheels zip codes we were provided with.
Fantastic work, team. Next is the Volunteer Houston and Marketing team, led by lead ambassador Sebastian Poggi. This team is the only team to transition from one department to another. They first served with Sucre Woodley and the marketing department.
During our time in the marketing department, we had the chance to work with Sucre Woodley to contact, interview, and draft stories about our clients. Our vision was to employ collaborative partnerships to bring awareness to our client needs, increase volunteering, and provide fundraising opportunities to stakeholders and the community. We also sought to empower and show gratitude to our clients by ensuring that their voices and stories were heard. Upon introduction, Sucre explained that she was utilizing our team to complete a year's worth of promotional material. This included capturing 17 client stories and 4 videos, with Meals on Wheels being the largest program housed within the Interfaith Ministries. Sucre tasked us with completing 10 client stories and photos, as well as 2 client videos. There was an emphasis on displaying our Anna Meals stories in hopes of increasing the awareness of that program. In addition, we were also asked to complete 1 to 2 client stories and videos in the other pillars of Interfaith Ministries, which included refugee services, interfaith relations, and Volunteer Houston. With that being said, the 9 weeks spent with the development department went by very quickly. We had fast approaching deadlines and produced interview transcripts, articles, and videos at a quick turnaround. Sucre was a constant force of reassurance and guidance.
Time spent within the development department came with many perks. With our stories needing to cover all of Interfaith Ministries' pillars, marketing allowed us to become quickly acquainted with the behind the scenes of every department. This inside peek was extremely valuable in learning how all parts of a nonprofit are interdependent and work as one. Another benefit of working with Sucre was having access to special events. We were able to work one-on-one with the Houston Chronicle in their effort to showcase the Serve Houston program, as well as attend our first Meals on Wheels deliveries with a member of Congress. We also got to work with Sam Hashemi, the Multimedia Services Manager. Under his guidance, we learned how to take video footage that could be used for marketing videos. Sam used the clips we collected of the first hot meals delivered by Meals on Wheels since the pandemic began for a promotional video. By the end of our 9 weeks of marketing, we vetted nearly 100 clients, conducted over-the-phone interviews, as well as drove all across town to take photos and videos of clients and interfaith ministry programs. As a group, we produced 17 ready-to-publish client stories and 2 promotional videos. Our ultimate goals within marketing were to employ collaborative partnerships to bring awareness, increase volunteering, and provide fundraising opportunities to stakeholders and the community. By learning and improving from previous publications to create relatable and captivating stories, we spread awareness of our clients' needs while empowering them and showing our gratitude for all that they do for our community.
The first project that we were introduced to while on the Volunteer Houston team was the 20th anniversary of 9/11 Day Service Project with project supervisors Brooke Parkinson and Gayla Wilson. We faced many barriers due to the COVID-19 pandemic, which had limited group sizes, activities, and even the duration of the event. Due to the rise in Delta variant COVID cases, this year's day of service was compressed into a single day, compared to other years in which it spanned an entire weekend. We sought to increase agency participation by implementing a multi-channel marketing strategy and aimed to increase volunteer hours from the past year's event. To do this, we began by contacting and informing agencies and volunteers within the greater Houston area about the event. In addition to contacting agencies and volunteers within our Volunteer Houston network, we also helped create a week-long informational webinar hosted over Zoom. This webinar helped agencies become acquainted with the event and showed them how to get involved. Once we engaged the community, our team of ambassadors worked to get the message of the Day of Service broadcasted to volunteers. This included drafting and finalizing press releases, blast emails, social media postings, and facilitating an Interfaith Ministries staff project to increase engagement. While the Day of Service was active, agencies and others recorded how many participants came out to their event. Although more agencies and events were posted in the previous year, the impact report indicated an increase in number of total participants, from 101 to 105 participants. We are anticipating the same success to be replicated with the Family Volunteer Day being conducted on November 20th.
One of the main overarching projects we undertook while with Volunteer Houston was re-engagement of the VH portal. Under Brooke Parkinson and Gayla Wilson's lead, we filtered volunteer needs, posted as events, updated over 700 agency profiles, and added logos to 140 agencies in the Volunteer Houston portal. A review of the agency contacts and web URLs were long overdue, with many needing new contacts created. This re-engagement proved essential to Volunteer Houston's outreach efforts, considering that engaged agency profiles attract engaged volunteers.
Toward the end of our time with Volunteer Houston, we began prioritizing the creation of Volunteer Houston portal tutorials. These had been discussed for quite some time, but there had not been too much movement on the initiative. The goals of these tutorials were to make the VH portal easier to use and more accessible to both volunteers and agencies. In conjunction with Ayed Ashari, an AmeriCorps Vista member, the team produced 3 tutorials, along with 3 video scripts that will aid in the production of the 3 tutorials we did not have the time nor the bandwidth to complete. Thanks to our work with Ayed, the Volunteer Houston portal has taken an essential step in becoming more accessible to the volunteers and agencies that work so hard to improve our communities. Today we'll be going over how to search and filter volunteer needs that appeal to you the most.
During the last few weeks of the program, Angel Flores and Sydney Medina teamed up to accomplish the Ready Set Volunteer series under the supervision of project manager Aaron Riola. This included 4 PowerPoints, which were accomplished with the purpose to help engage volunteers with more impactful service projects. The 4 major topics we promoted were how to volunteer safely, networking at volunteer events, how to make a long-term volunteer commitment, and remote volunteering. Although the PowerPoints were not presented to any volunteers during the Serve Houston programming, the contribution will help elevate Volunteer Houston's programs in the future.
To end our presentation, we'd love to show our appreciation to those that helped guide us and had a significant impact on our personal and professional lives.
We'd like to thank you all for presenting us with the opportunity and resources to become civic leaders, for encouraging a growth mindset and having bottomless patience with all of us.
Thank you, Sam and Sukri. Thank you, Brooke and Aaron, Gayla, Ayet, Jody, and Martin, for everything you've done for us. We hope that you've gotten as much from us as we have from you. Much love.
The Marketing and Volunteer Houston Ambassadors.
Wow, fantastic job, team, and thanks for that shout out at the end. Oh, you're touching my heart. And last but definitely not least is the Refugee Services team, led by lead ambassador Roba Abusawe. This team pivoted so many times, for which we are very grateful. They were originally slated to transition from Refugee Services to the Interfaith Relations and Community Partnerships Department, but the needs in Refugee Services proved to be much greater.
Jambo, Janeyango Rashika.
Amakuru, Banitaga Benita.
Salam nama tanas.
Hola a todos, mi nombre es Raisha.
مرحبا أنا اسمي ربا أهلا وسهلا برefugee services.
We are your 2021 Serve Houston ambassadors from Refugee Services. Over the last 6 months, we have been involved in medical case management, youth mentorship, and Afghan refugee crisis support under the supervision of Ali Al-Sudani, Ahmed Mushraf, Elena Corbett, and Camille Khan. In this presentation, we highlight our goals and accomplishments in addition to our key takeaways from our time in the program.
To get us started, we are going to play a short game of Are You Smarter Than a Refugee Services Ambassador? We are going to ask you questions related to refugee services and see how you do. So once we ask the question, you'll have 20 seconds to think and respond. Hopefully you will get an idea of what we learned during our time in the department. So with that, let's get into it.
For our first question, what 3 countries does Interfaith Ministries of Greater Houston currently resettle most refugees from? The right answer is Cuba, where 90% of our clients come from in the fiscal year 2021, Afghanistan and Congo.
How long do asylum-seeking clients receive medical insurance from the government once they arrive in the U.S.? The right answer is 8 months.
Where does Interfaith Ministries of Greater Houston resettle the majority of their refugees? The answer is Southwest Houston. This is a cultural hub with close access to the medical facilities and social services that we refer them to.
So for our 5th and final question, it is, where are Afghan refugees held when they first arrive in the United States? So the answer is military bases. Many are staying in Fort Lee, Virginia, until they are moved elsewhere for resettlement.
Good job, and thank you for playing with us. We hope that this gave you some insight into what we have learned. During our Serve Houston term, our team's goals were to create and implement engaging workshops for refugee youth according to their needs, make client orientations more efficient for the RS staff, advocate for refugees by giving them the knowledge that they needed to live a healthy life in the U.S., and also help the department pivot to serve the influx of Afghan refugees. Bray and I worked on youth mentorship projects while Roba, Dana, and Rashika worked on medical case management. We all came together to aid in the Afghan refugee crisis effort.
As part of the medical case management team, we created 3 sets of video tutorials to educate our clients and support their caseworkers during the high influx of Cuban arrivals. We automated the refugee medical assistance and refugee cash assistance orientations to reduce the demand placed on caseworkers. Additionally, we created these videos to enable our clients to become more independent and allow them to refer back to the information presented at orientations. All videos were created in both English and Spanish. The RMA video contains all the information about the Refugee Medical Assistance Program, a program that provides short-term medical assistance for refugees.
The video discusses benefits, coverage, transportation, interpretation, etc. It is essentially helpful in teaching our clients how to find a doctor, how to make a medical appointment, and what to do in an emergency. This video has reached over 175 Cuban parolees to date.
Si tiene una emergencia, llame al 911. Guarde y memorice este número. También puede usarse para emergencias no médicas.
Due to the success of the RMA video, we were requested to make a similar orientation video for the Refugee Cash Assistance Program, which provides basic financial assistance to our clients for 8 months. In this video, we cover aspects like eligibility, payment charts, check pickup protocol, and so on. This video has reached over 100 Cuban parolees to date. Both videos are our legacy to the department as they are played every week for the clients.
If any of your personal information changes, it is important that you notify your RCA representative. Changes to your home address, email address, phone number, family size, and employment status need to be reported to your caseworker. To further advocate for our Cuban parolee clients who do not traditionally receive a comprehensive cultural orientation, we created a detailed U.S. healthcare navigation video to provide them with the tools needed to advocate for their own health. In the video, we discuss topics like private and public insurance, how to receive specialized care, how to pick up your medication from the pharmacy, and the importance of getting your yearly physical exam. The information presented includes scenarios and examples relevant to their lives in Houston, like the medical centers they will receive care from. The video is sent directly to clients for them to listen and learn at their leisure.
Sus cheques de bienestar se le puede administrar ciertas vacunas e inmunizaciones. Así que usted puede preguntarse cuáles se aplican a usted.
Frey, Roba, and I worked hand in hand with youth mentorship staff to create a variety of workshops for refugee youth aged 12 to 22. As noted on this PowerPoint, 2 of the ones that we were able to complete include Internet and Security and Fun in Houston, both of which will be discussed more in the next few slides. This really gave us the ability to connect directly with refugee youth and share not only our experiences, but teach them skills and information within these workshops that they might not know. In addition, we also observed intake interviews to determine what exactly this group of individuals wanted to learn about and to cater our workshops towards their preferences. And we also contacted speakers for possible future events when the youth mentorship program resumes in 2022. Our purpose in giving the Internet and Security presentation was to make sure that these young individuals understood how to be safe online in a digital age. Many of us don't understand the implications of being online and the privacy concerns that go alongside that. And being in this world surrounded by technology and social media, we realized that this information was important. For this reason, this presentation centered on what types of social media platforms are available and their use, best practices in an online environment, and also how to keep privacy safe online. 10 refugee youth were able to join and participate in these interactive presentations.
Through the internet, it's so easy to bond with existing friends and non-existing friends that you've never met before. So
for our Fun in Houston presentation, we wanted to expand the horizons of the students and teach them a bit more about the different things to do in Houston as they settle into their new environment. And while some of these refugee youth have been in Houston for an ample amount of time, Youth Mentorship wanted to showcase locations in the Houston area that may pique everyone's interest. The examples we shared range from different historical districts, cultural areas, to the various museums and parks in Houston. From food, shopping, learning, and more, this presentation touched on aspects of Houston life and gives ample opportunity for refugee youth to get involved with the community. And while we were not able to actually deliver the presentation to the youth, the materials will remain with refugee services staff for future use at any future workshop. The United States has seen an influx of refugees from Afghanistan. To prepare, refugee services took preparatory actions and developed initiatives during the influx of arrivals. In order to best support our department during this time, our ambassadors team's goals pivoted to meet the growing need. Benita, Roba, and I managed a volunteer and donation hotline in response to over 250 voicemails from community members. To further develop the volunteer coordination process, we created a spreadsheet system to connect staff members with approved volunteers. And when we were at the office, our team helped sort and categorize over 400 boxes of donations from very generous community members. Additionally, we created a cultural orientation presentation for Afghan parolee clients since they are not eligible to receive one-on-one cultural orientations. Finally, Roba, Dana, and Rashika started having weekly hour-long conversation sessions with refugee women to help them practice their English.
That concludes our Teens Impact Report. We hope you enjoyed hearing about our projects and what we were able to accomplish during our time as Serve Houston ambassadors. Though we could not have anticipated working through such a historic time, we are grateful we got the chance to support refugee services during it and learn throughout the process. It was truly a special and rewarding experience serving Houston's refugee community. Thank you so much to everyone who supported and guided us throughout our term. Until next time, bye.
Great work, Refugee Services team. Now, who could forget the Capstone Project? The Cohort's Capstone Project is the culminating intellectual and practical experience that will close out their learning experience. Multifaceted by design, capstone projects are designed to encourage critical thinking, problem solving, oral communication skills, research skills, and teamwork. I could go on, but let's hear more about their experience and impact directly from the Capstone Project leads themselves, Sydney Medina and Rashika Sunku.
Hi, I'm Sydney Medina, and with my co-lead Rashika Sunku, we were the capstone leads for the 2021 Serve Houston cohort under the direction of Gayla Wilson. It's safe to say that this project was a roller coaster, but we are proud to announce the successful completion and execution of the Best Kids Wellness Package. To begin, we were tasked with designing, facilitating, and evaluating a service project that addresses food insecurity within the greater Houston area from IM leadership. After considering many different areas to implement our capstone project, Best Elementary of A-Leaf ISD became an ideal candidate. With the average median income of A-Leaf being $33,000 annually, almost 90% of the students attending A-Leaf ISD naturally receive free and reduced lunches. The issue of food insecurity is compounded for Best Elementary students because they are in the center of a food desert, where the closest grocery stores can be found on the other side of the community. With these factors, Best Elementary caught the attention of our Serve Houston ambassadors, who wanted to make a difference in that community by providing kits that prioritize education and practical tips for healthy living. Amidst another surge of the COVID-19 pandemic, we went into the project prioritizing the health and safety of our ambassadors and community members. We knew we wanted to empower the younger generations in these food insecure communities by educating and equipping them with the tools and knowledge needed to live a happy and healthy life. An estimated 1 in 4 children suffer from food insecurity in Harris County. With a contact-free wellness package, Serve Houston helped Best Elementary while still staying socially distanced. With the help of Student Support Manager at Best Elementary, Miss Laureen Lewis, we identified 130 second graders and 135 third graders designed as those with the greatest need. Together, we created the main goal of our project, to distribute the Best Kids Wellness Package to 265 second and third graders at Best Elementary to take home and explore with their families. The ambassadors wanted to execute a project that provided a variety of services, resources, and activities to be offered to students and their families at Best Elementary. To accomplish this, we divided ourselves into 4 groups. Food distribution and planting committees work under the supervision of myself, while nutrition and fitness operated under Rashika.
The first committee included Sebastian Poggi, Vijayta Srirama, and Veronica Hernandez. Together, they reviewed the needs assessment conducted within the A-Leaf community and devoted hours to sourcing the most highly requested snack items from the participants. This included packets of oatmeal, tuna, fig bars, applesauce, electrolyte powder, and pretzels. And lastly, they organized the introductory material for the children when they received the wellness packages, which included a welcome video and flyer. The second committee consisted of Dana Awad, Chantra Wilson, and Michelle Phillips. Together, they created the Nutrition Education Informational Guide that consisted of fun activities about the importance of nutrition and how to incorporate more healthy eating habits. They also created the Let's Get Cooking cookbook, along with 2 videos demonstrating how to prepare recipes from the cookbook. They also included mini tahini bottles to get the kids excited about seasoning their vegetables. The third committee consisted of Jeremy Maislin, Roba Busaway, Bila Matovu, and Balkisu Habib. Together, they created a curriculum surrounding yoga and mindfulness to supplement the healthy nutrition habits that they were adopting through the other elements of the package. They created and included a yoga informational guide, a yoga dice activity, a 15-minute yoga flow tutorial, and a mindfulness card. The fourth and final committee consisted of Angel Flores, Benita Lalani, and Farisha Burke. With their combined efforts, they were able to cultivate an engaging planting guide. Their planting curriculum walked the children step by step on how to grow their own herbs, as well as included fun facts that emphasize the benefits of growing your own food. The committee members also created a fun video of a DIY planter activity that the kids could participate with and included seeds in the packet so that the best elementary kids could have their very own plant. The most direct response to food insecurity is providing food, which we accomplished through the snacks in our packages, but we also saw value in education, hence the additional contents. Throughout the project, our ambassadors have placed a large emphasis on sustainability. Thus, we made videos and laminated education materials that can last the children a lifetime. We also hope that the DIY planting activity will someday contribute to existing efforts to establish a community garden to feed and nourish the community. To measure the impact and validity of our project, we developed a quiz with 4 questions to be taken after review of all the materials. From the quiz's return, we can tell that the students not only interacted with the bag, but comprehended the material given with an average of 76% accuracy. Over the course of the past 5.5 months, our ambassadors were able to pull off a highly impactful project. With the generosity of the Interfaith Ministries staff members and the greater Houston community, we accrued enough donations to not only fill the packages, but offer additional snacks to the kids in need. The Serve Houston ambassadors empowered the next generation living in food insecurity by educating and equipping them with the tools and knowledge needed to live a healthy and happy life. On behalf of the inaugural Serve Houston cohort, we would like to thank our leadership, staff, and community for helping us bring our vision to fruition. A special shout out to our Queen Bee, Gayla Wilson, and a huge congratulations to the Serve Houston ambassadors for their commitment and hard work. We did it! Let's go!
Great work, cohort.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you enjoyed seeing the overview of the capstone project the Serve Houston ambassadors developed, planned, and implemented. I have been so honored to work with this group of incredible future leaders on their community issue specific to food insecurity, which is a passion issue for me. And to see how they were able to pivot from their initial project plans due to the uncertainty of the pandemic to create a project designed that would have a lasting impact on the most vulnerable who deal with food insecurity, which are children. The level of creativity in developing educational resources and videos for the 265 Best Kids Wellness Packets was remarkable, to say the least. So I would like to recognize at this time the 2 young women who stepped up to lead the capstone project, Sydney Benita and Rashika Sunku. Can you please come to the stage? Rashika and Sydney, for your outstanding leadership demonstrated on the Serve Houston Capstone Project. Thank you for your commitment and dedication to the excellence of the Best Kids Wellness Kits. You've made me so proud. And here's a little something for you as well. Thank you. You'll make me cry. Oh, in the middle, please. Yeah, in the middle. Clearly, I don't know the middle anymore. I think I'm done. Okay.
Thank you, Gayla. It truly was an honor to watch the entire cohort come together in the process that everyone went through the challenges and through the successes. It was a complete success. So Now we would like to hear from Martin Kaminsky, CEO of Interfaith Ministries for Greater Houston and the creator of the original Serve Houston program that thrived here in the late 1990s. But please. Before I hand it over to him, we have created a special certificate for you as a visionary for Serve Houston, because we could not have done this without you. So I'll leave this here for you. Thank you, Martin.
Thank you, Brooke. Well, I'm beaming with pride right now. Each of you as individuals and as a group have shown your leadership, your vision, your creativity, your professionalism, your talent, your kindness, and above all, a passion for service and servant leadership. I know that this passion will continue to help the vulnerable in our community and will make it a better place for all people. I say that I take pride in how far you've come, and I have faith in how far you will go. It's been a privilege to get to know each and every one of you, to guide you, to learn from you, to watch you evolve and grow as part of Serve Houston. I have no doubt that the lessons that you learned as part of Serve Houston will guide you in your future endeavors, and I leave you with this thought: go into the world and do well, but more importantly, go into the world and do good. But before you go into the world and do good, I want to present each of you with a framed certificate of achievement and appreciation for your service. And so I'd like to call upon folks to come up here, and when you're, after I present the award to you, please stay up here and we're going to take a group picture. I want to first ask Via, Roba, and Sebastian, who have been our lead ambassadors. You've worked tirelessly with your teams. You do the work, you offer the insights that will benefit us for many years to come. Oh, sure. Okay. Yes. Maybe I should put back on my mouth. Okay. Roba Abusoe. Thank you. Sebastian Bogey. Take a picture with all three, okay. Thank you so much. You've heard from these two women, but I want to call them to the front again as our capstone leads. Rashika and Sydney have guided this project and helped make hundreds of elementary school students happier and better educated about food and fitness. And so I welcome Rashika and Sydney. Okay. Sydney Medina. Okay, and Rashika Sunku. Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you. Congrats.
Might take a picture with both of
them. Okay. Thank you. Go in.
Yeah.
Thank you both. Okay. And now, of course, teamwork is dream work, and I want to call on our ambassadors whose teamwork has built the support for our agency and achieved many great things for our clients and our community. Thank you, and I'd like to start with Angel. Angel Flores. Okay. And Dana Alam. Okay. Freesha Burke. Oh, okay. Chantra Wilson. Okay. Balkisu Habib. So, congrats.
A few more.
Vajatha. Selena. Veronica Hernandez. And last but not least, Jeremy Mays. Okay. So, Brooke, are we taking a group picture now, or?
Big group picture under the big screen, real quick, everybody. All ambassadors only.
Let me just take a few more remarks before we do that. Okay. Before I call on Brooke for some additional comments and for the arrangement of this picture, I want to say a special thank you to some of the colleagues who played a vital role in this work. To our leader, Brooke Parkinson, the director of Volunteer Houston. To our corporate volunteer program manager and the lead in our capstone project, Gayla Wilson. Thank you. To the Wonder Woman who just kind of showed up and figured this all out and has led our effort, Erin Riola. Thank you so much, Erin. To our project supervisors, Lauren Lewis from Volunteer Services. To Mr. Camille Khan from Refugee Services. And am I missing anyone here? Leslie Keon? Yes. From the Alexa Project, and Matt Wright from our Meals on Wheels program. And I'm sorry, I've gotten a page out of. And Sukri Woodley, our Director of Marketing and Communications. And then I want to thank the members of our executive team, Maria McGee, who's our Chief Development Officer, who helped raise the money to make this happen, to Bonnie Weissman, our Vice President of Human Resources, who helped us recruit, plan, and keep everybody going in this project. To Jennifer Leone, who isn't able to respond to my thanks, but our Chief Financial Officer, and very especially to Jody Bernstein, whose division made this work possible. We're grateful. I also want to thank our board members present today, and especially to Jay Harburg, our board chair, who supported this project from the beginning and will be one of his many legacies as he completes his term this year. Finally, I'd like to give a special shout out to our donors, to the Tracy and Elma Lee Lawrence Foundation, to Barry and Rosalind Margolis, to the Curtis Huff family, to Mustafa Tamiz, and to the Astros Foundation for their support of this program. They've done amazing things to make this possible. And this program would not have been what it is without service learning. We did a lot of great service, evidenced by your fantastic presentations today. But to put this in the context of our world, of our human situation, and to make sure that we understand the importance of this role of servant leadership, I want to thank Dr. Helen Vallier from the University of Houston Honors College. She led numerous Friday sessions with her colleagues, Carrie and Adrian, and we're grateful to all of them. And a quick thank you also to Jacques de Rovencourt, the general manager of the official hotel of Interfaith Ministries, the Hilton Americas Hotel. I have a very special announcement to make this morning. Interfaith Ministries believes so much in the value of servant leadership that we are very proud to announce that all of our volunteer and service programs, including Volunteer Houston and Serve Houston, the Service Enterprise Institute, or the Points of Light, and thank you, Paul, for being here today, will now be under the umbrella of a major new center called the J. Victor Samuels Center for Volunteerism and Community Service. And for that, we are most grateful to honor Vic for the work that he has done and the life that he led as a consummate volunteer. He was a co-founder of Serve Houston some 30 years ago, and together supported me along with his amazing family in the development of this program, which I think everyone sees is so valuable today. And so I would like to announce that Bobby Samuels, a servant leader herself, and her 3 amazing sons, through their foundation, have given us $1 million to create this center for service. I want to thank Bobby and her sons for such a meaningful gift to remember Vic Samuels. With each hour of service that you do and future classes will do, we will be honoring Vic's lifelong servant leadership. So I think that's all from me, but that's pretty exciting news, I think. And I'll call Brooke back up to arrange the final pictures and photos.
Yes. Thank you, Martin. I appreciate it. Before we get into the photos, you guys hang out for a minute. This really has been an extraordinary experience for all of us that have been involved, and we really could, as Martin said, could not have done this without the involvement of our 3 professors from the University of Houston, Dr. Helen Vallier, Adrian Castillo, and Dr. Carrie Myrick, who spent at least 10 Fridays with us teaching everyone about service learning and compassion. So we have a few minutes for the 3 of you to offer your own toast to ambassadors if you'd like to do that, and Aaron has a mic for you.
So I guess I'll just come over here to stand with you all, but yeah. I will say this on behalf of all of us, but I'll let them say their own words too, but we are incredibly proud of you all. The fact that you all decided that you're going to spend your summer and even some of your semester serving the people of Houston, our most vulnerable, is something that is to be admired. And you all are an inspiration, even to us, to everyone in this room. And so you all spent that summer learning and reflecting and doing service. And COVID-19 has been hard on all of us, but I think for you all, it was an opportunity. Service, as we talked about, is responding to the needs of the community. And every day you all pivoted and responded to what Houston needed. You listened to your community and you gave to your community. You helped your community and you continue to do it. So no matter where you go in life, I am confident that you all will find ways to serve your neighbor and to respect your neighbor and to love your neighbor. And for that, I am proud of you all. And remember that even service is hard. There will be failures, but even your failures are going to be successes. So, and Helen, would you like to say anything?
Thanks, Adrian, and just thank you,
all for this program and for today. And it's just so wonderful to see you all. And I'm so glad that I have a mask on because it's quite absorbent, because I've been having a few tears this morning. Yeah, I mean, you know, we keep saying words like pivots. Another word that I use quite often is iterative, and basically what that boils down to is that we basically suck it up and figure it out, right? And I mean, that's pretty much what we're talking about. And that's not possible without your generosity and sort of intellectual curiosity and just willingness. And for that, I'm forever grateful, truly, because, you know, I'm an academic through and through. Cut me in half, it'll say academic, right? So it's you know, my dream as an academic has really been to see our neighbors not as our research subjects. You know, you've heard me talk about this a lot, right? That we can do work, we can do rigorous study, we can collect data, but we're there to serve, right? We're there to support dignity, we're there in solidarity with our neighbor. And if we aren't, then we don't belong there. Right? And no matter where we are, we can be in our backyard, we can be 5,000 miles away, but unless we're there in solidarity, we shouldn't be there at all. And thank you for reminding me of why that's so important. And I just, again, I can't really speak because I keep weeping, but you know, we really, truly are very moved by everything you've done, and I'm just so impressed. I will go to the wall for Gen Z. I'll put it that way.
I think the two of you have pretty much covered almost everything that needs to be said, but I do want to say I'm very, very proud to have been part of this project, especially in the pilot year. I wish that we had had more time to spend with you than just the 10 Fridays, but the time that we did get, I valued it, I cherished it. I hope that you all learned something from us, and you know, congratulations on your great work.
I know you guys are just hanging out over there. You're going to stay there for just a couple more minutes, and we'll get to the photo in a minute. I do want to say, too, before I hand this over to Jacques to close us out, who, as Martin mentioned, is a member of the board, but he's also chair of the Volunteer Houston Advisory Council, so thank you, Jacques. We have one last guest and gift for all of you from Mike Kahn, who is also a member of the Volunteer Houston Advisory Council. I also hear that he is a fabulous singer. So please join me in welcoming Mike, who will dedicate a song to our ambassadors.
I have to just take a second to congratulate, as a native Houstonian and as a volunteer for IM, Interfaith Ministries, just how wonderful and how appreciative we are of all you have done. And I will say, you really give me great hope for the future. And I know you will take this experience with you for the rest of your life. And I want to take just a minute to celebrate you on this journey that you've been through. I know you've grown a lot. And I hope you'll all join me as we get into the song. For the holidays, I believe I have missed each and every phase. Come on and play one easy. Let's turn on every love light in the place. It's time I found myself totally surrounded in your circles. Oh, my friend. Please celebrate me home. Give me a number, please. Celebrate me home. Play me one more song that I'll always remember, that I can recall whenever I find myself too all alone. Can say me home. highway, traveling where the westerly winds can fly. Somebody tried to tell me, but the man forgot to tell me why. I got to count on being gone. Well, come on, mama, come on, daddy, please. What do you want from me? Yeah, I'll be strong, I'll be weak, I'll be weak. Please celebrate me home. Give me a number, please. Celebrate me home. Play me one more song that I'll always remember, that I can recall whenever I find myself too all alone. I can make believe I've never gone. Let me know where I belong. Sail me home, celebrate me home. Give me a number, please. Celebrate me home. Play me one more song, yo. Well, I'm finally here, but I'm bound to roam. Come on, celebrate me home. Well, I'm finally here, but I'm bound to roam. Come on, celebrate me home. Well, I'm finally here, but I'm bound to roam. Y'all, celebrate me home. Yeah, please celebrate me home. Please celebrate me home. Join me, will you? Please celebrate me home. One more time, let me hear. Please celebrate me. Nice. One more time for our graduates. Please celebrate. Nice. Well, I'm finally here, but I'm bound to roam. Come on, celebrate me home.
Michael Kahn, thank you so much. Thank you. You can see that our advisory board members are very talented and have many great things. Thanks, Michael, for a beautiful culmination to our day. My staff always warns me not to start listing thank yous because I always forget one person, and I think I forgot one of the most important people in our team, Ali Al-Sudani, who is the chief, and he may have left already, but will y'all tell him that I remembered? He's our chief programs officer, and all the wonderful things that the young people did are programs under his purview and responsibility. And now I'd like to call on Jacques de Rovencourt, our volunteer Houston chair.
Thank you, Martin. And how about another round of applause for Mike? Thank you, Mike. What a beautiful song and a great performance. On behalf of the Hilton Americas Houston, welcome. We are so glad to have and proud to have been a part of this great event. Such an important gathering with a great group of young people who no doubt will make our world a better place. Hilton Americas Houston is committed to helping our community, to volunteerism, to service learning, and to young people. So it made sense that we hosted you today. I have appreciated watching the Serve Houston team in action for the past 6 months and to seeing the great work showcased today. I leave everyone with one final thought. How wonderful it is that nobody need wait a single moment before starting to improve the world. Indeed, You are already making our world a better place. Congratulations. We applaud you, and we thank you. Thank you.